I don't know what made us think we could do this. Hi, my name is Crystal, and we are the Noodle System. Did I show you my pillow? I can't remember if I showed you. Isn't that awesome? We weren't tired a second ago, but we are exhausted right now. Check it out. I got a fleece blanket throw. It's so comfy, and it's like fall colors with bicycles. I don't know why I'm showing you all my stuff. It's like show and tell, show and tell. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on. I gotta lay down. We took a neuropsych eval intake appointment. We had an appointment last week for an intake at a neuropsychological evaluation officer. What am I saying? So remember the neuropsych? Let's try this again. Okay, so last year we got a neuropsych eval, and it's like 2 appointments, 3 appointments, something like that, and then the doctor reviews the results, studies the tests, and gives the results at the final appointment. So we decided to do that again this year till we could compare our test results from last year to this year. And we had the intake appointment last Thursday, and today is Tuesday. And the doctor said he was going to email some forms to fill out, and there's a couple of scales that we need to complete, and then scan back, and they're going to study those. This is typically done in the office, right? But because of COVID, we're doing it at home. So I don't know what made me think we could do this, but we said to ourselves that we've always had trouble taking personality tests because the one fronting might be depressed, but then once that one's no longer fronting, we're no longer depressed. Or that one fronting might have anxiety, but once that one's no longer fronting, and once we've cured what the anxiety was about, then we're no longer anxious. And so every evaluator, every doctor, every psychiatrist, every therapist we've ever gone to and taken these tests for, they say that our results are inconclusive. So we don't mean to over-report, or whatever they call it. I don't know how to describe it. We don't mean to, but we're just explaining. We're just basically what it looks like is that you look like you're depressed on this answer, but you look like you're not depressed on another answer. Or you look like you're anxious on this answer, but you don't look like you're anxious on another answer. So it's inconsistent. It's not a very, it looks suspicious, one doctor said, right? So anyways, rather than letting just one noodle front to take the personality test or the depression scales or whatever, we wanted to tap into everybody so everybody got a chance to express themselves. And there are 21 questions on this sheet of paper from the doctor's office, from the neuropsych eval office, and we've only gotten through 7 of them. And we are so exhausted, we can't keep our eyes open. We are disassociating back and forth, having conversations in the headspace. It is extremely loud in there because they're arguing about which answer to put down. Now, mind you, we've done 7 of them, but we haven't written a single answer on our sheet. Why? Because we haven't collectively decided what to put down. So we're journaling to the side what is coming up for us. Wow, that was a long... Alexa. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Oh my gosh. Wow, that was a long time explaining what we were trying to tell you. We just wanted...
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
I'm having trouble understanding too, Alexa. Shh. So, I want to share, we got to process this. We got to process why we are feeling so fuzzy right now, because we had plenty of sleep, but now we're very triggered. We're very distressed right now. I can feel it because we're trying to check out. We're trying to go to sleep. We're trying to relax. So rather than just sleep it off and avoid it, which is what purple wants to do, purple's super strong right now. We need to dive into these 7 questions. So no, I'm not going to tell you all 21 right now. I'm just going to talk about the first 7. The first question is, please circle the appropriate response considering your emotions for the past 2 weeks. All right, number 1, I do not feel sad, or I feel sad, or I am sad all the time and I can't snap out of it, or I am so sad and unhappy that I can't stand it. That's just question number 1 about being sad. Number 1 answer that we wrote down on our journal is, I am at a 3, so sad and unhappy I can't stand it, but I do snap out of it, but then right back into it if triggered. So I, as one person, cannot give just one answer because we're not always sad. But we are so sad and unhappy that we can't stand it when we are sad. So how does this isn't a fair question to ask. If you are an evaluator and you are reviewing this video right now and you are trying to come up with a test, come up with something better than this one, because this is not helpful. Number 2, I am not particularly discouraged about the future. I feel discouraged about the future. I feel I have nothing to look forward to. I feel the future is hopeless and things cannot improve. Well, isn't this interesting? Because I have a lot of noodles that are very hopeful about the future. So the very first one is, I am not particularly discouraged about the future. What about having a freaking answer that says I feel hopeful about the future? Wouldn't that be awesome? But no, here's what it says. It says, some of us look forward to the future. Others feel it's hopeless. How do you answer a question about the future when you have 2 completely different sides of the camp? The camp in my head is saying, we're hopeful about the future. We are getting better. We are getting stronger. This is awesome. Imagine how much better we're going to be a year from now. Oh my gosh, they're so flippin' excited. And then you've got noodles like me who are just like, yeah, we're all doomed with COVID and the riots and the global warming and blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, that's just the earth feeling hopeless, right? What about me? Oh, no, I feel like I'm going to die any minute. I'm going to either get cancer, or I'm going to get sick, or I'm going to get into a car accident, or my husband's going to be a mass murderer. Like, I get these thoughts in my head. I get these noodles going, but yet I'm also hopeful about the future. How do you explain that? How do you explain that if it's not multiplicity? How do you explain that if it's not plurality? Oh, my phone. I dropped my phone because my fingers fell asleep. They went numb. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you have 2 completely different outlooks on life if it's not plurality? This is why scales and personality tests don't work for plural people. That's just the second question. No wonder why we're freaking upset. Okay, Number 3, I do not feel like a failure. Or, I feel like I have failed more than the average person. Or, as I look back on my life, I can see a lot of failures. Or, I feel I am a complete failure as a person. Yeah. This one was really difficult for us to answer. So you see our really long answer right there? Not really. Can't really see it. So let me read it to you. It says yellow, orange, and magenta don't feel like failures because they have learned from their failures. And then you've got gold, red, lime, and lilac don't think they've ever failed. So they're not considered a failure. Maroon, peach, green, mint, cyan, indigo, purple, and pink all have intense feelings about failure and what it means about them. That was the shortest answer that I could give about failure. And you saw how long that was. You heard how long that was. If I have all these noodles that have intense feelings about failure, and yet I also have some noodles that don't think they've ever failed, and then I've also got some noodles that understand the failures that they've had in their life, but they feel like they've learned from them. Explain to me how I'm supposed to answer this question about failure if nobody agrees on the flippant answer. Next question. I get as much satisfaction out of things as I used to. Or I don't enjoy things the way I used to. Or I don't get real satisfaction out of anything anymore. Or I am dissatisfied or bored with everything. All right, here we go. I didn't want to go through all the noodles again. It was getting really tiresome. So I put a short answer on my little journal paper here and I said, sometimes things are satisfying to some of us. Other things are not satisfying to others of us. Isn't that a vague flippant answer? It's like there isn't a sometimes and a some of us on here. It's I do get satisfaction like an absolute, or I don't enjoy things the way I used to. It depends on who was fronting, I guess. I really don't understand this because not all of us are depressed, and I think this is a depression scale. I am dissatisfied or bored with everything. Yeah, some of us agree to that one. Oh my gosh, this is so exhausting. Okay, so now the next one is number 5. I don't feel particularly guilty. 1, I feel guilty a good part of the time. Or I feel guilty. Okay, let me try that again. I really need to get some sort of tripod because I keep dropping my phone. Let's put you right here. There, is that better? I was tired of holding my phone. I kept dropping it. All right, this one says, I don't feel particularly guilty, or I feel guilty a good part of the time, or I feel quite guilty most of the time, or I feel guilty all of the time. Well, we look at this and we said most of us feel guilty most of the time. Most of us do. There's some that don't feel guilty whatsoever. So, do I ignore those and answer the question with the majority? Probably, I guess. I guess that's what I'm supposed to do. And then it says, number 6, I don't feel I am being punished, or I feel like I may be punished, or I expect to be punished, or I feel I am being punished. All right, this one says, many of us feel and expect to be punished much of the time. Isn't that a vague statement? It's like, it would be more specific if I explain which noodles felt what and expect exactly why they feel punished. I'd rather go into detail explaining each of the noodles' feelings about punishment, rather than just giving this vague statement of feeling like we are punished and we expect to be punished. And do you want me to tell you why I feel punished and expect to be punished? Here's why. Because I feel that if I do not obey, comply, agree, aren't those all kind of the same words? If I have someone on the outside world, whether it be a boss, a coworker, a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a child, a friend, even a stranger, or even the cashier, or even the doctor, or even the nurse, it doesn't matter who it is. I feel that if I am not in agreement with them, in alignment with them, putting up the mirror to them and giving them what they want from me, I feel I will be punished in some way. That is the nature of my condition. It is so fundamentally grounded into me that the majority of us feel like we are being punished all the time, or we expect to be punished all the time. Why? Because that is our flippin' trauma. Is we were taught that as young children, and many of us are children in there, and we will react as if we are being punished, even if we're not, or we will stay silent and stay hidden in fear of being punished. And our protectors will defend us in fear of being punished, or if we are getting punished. Like, there is like absolutely nothing else that makes more sense than this flippin' question about punishment. Feeling like you're going to get punished or that you are punished is not a sign of depression. Depression is the symptom. Complex PTSD is the root. Punishment targets straight to the root. I feel like this is like so unprofessional of a video. Yet the people that need to hear this stuff, like the doctors and the evaluators and the people who are researching stuff, they need to see a professional flippin' video that they trust and they relate to and understand. And I'm definitely not it. So the message needs to get clear across the board that some people treat depression as an unknown cause or an unknown source or an unknown blah 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 blah. But I think if you were to look at everybody that's ever gone in for depression skills, you probably are going to tap into the complex PTSD that's at the base root of most people's depression. That's my guess. Do I know crap? Heck no. Do I have some PhD in crap? No, I don't. So are you going to believe me? No. But if you want to prove me wrong, go look at anybody's depression skills and have a conversation with them about their childhood. And if they can tap into that trauma, if they can tap into that part of them that's protected like crazy, you might be able to understand their feeling of punishment. They punish themselves. I punish myself. We punish ourselves in our headspace, right? We punish ourselves before we even get to the truth of ourselves. So, yes, punishment is a huge one. And maybe that was the question that got us, because number 7, I don't feel disappointed in myself. Or I am disappointed in myself. Or I am disgusted with myself. Or I hate myself. And this one was a little shorter of an answer. Basically, it says, I am not disappointed. And obviously that tells me that's yellow. 2. The second thing I wrote was, but red is disappointed. Green says she is disgusted. And magenta hates us. So how do I answer this question? All 4 of them are correct. Yellow doesn't feel like there's any disappointment. Red is so disappointed in us all the time. That's all we hear all the time is persecuting. So yellow is constantly arguing with red about why we're not a disappointment. And red is constantly yelling at all of us noodles about why we are why we are a disappointment. And then you've got green, who is so judgmental and and disgusted and just rolling her eyes and just whatever, guys. Like, totally separating herself from all of us in a I'm gonna get as far away from you guys as possible, disgusted in ourselves. And yet, what's the last one I said? I already forgot. Magenta can't stand us. She hates us. She wants to separate from the body as well. So, how do you go from answering 21 questions in one little setting that I was trying to do to I am so flippin' triggered with all these answers that are going off in my head. I don't know how I'm supposed to get to the next question. I don't know how we're supposed to do it. I guess we're supposed to read it. That's what someone just said. I don't feel like I am worse than anyone else. I am critical of myself for my weaknesses or mistakes. I blame myself all the time for my faults. I blame myself for everything bad that happens. Again, we're back to the same thing. I don't know how to get through this. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have to call that doctor's office and tell them I'm struggling with this. I'm going to have to, because I can't give a fair assessment, even if I tried. And I want to do a fair assessment on it. I don't want it to be about one noodle, and I don't want it to look inconsistent, because it will. I can't let some of them answer and not all of them. Maybe I should have everybody answer their own question. I have 21 of them here, and I have 17 noodles, so that's an interesting thought, but then that would just be completely confusing. Anyways, I'm gonna just meditate for a little bit and maybe fall asleep for a little bit and then try to feel better, because that's the strongest noodle wants to do that, wants to quiet the mind, wants to avoid this chaos, and that's a good suggestion. But I needed to get this out. I needed a video journal about it. I needed to document it. I needed to talk to you guys in case there are professionals watching this, or even if you guys try to take a depression scales or a personality test or whatnot. Tell me what you do. Tell me how you do. Tell me what you suggest I do. Tell me what you think should happen in the future in case others are also confused about this. Of course, by the time I post this video, I would have already done the personality test and the depression skills and all that stuff, but if I ask the host to do it, the host is orange and she's pretty numb and removed from the emotional stuff. That's why she's the host right now. She's in a protective hosting role for a reason, because there is so much chaos up there and we need her to be the host. But we can't have the host take emotional related tests for us, because she's not emotional. She's more like the secretary dictating, right? So that could be very conflicting because everyone's saying different things. All right, I'm gonna let you go because I told them I was gonna meditate and sleep for a second, and obviously we're still talking. So thanks for watching. I hope this wasn't too long. Talk to you later. Bye.